Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're uncovering a true hidden gem in Long Beach real estate. And honestly, it's absolutely perfect for first-time buyers. If you've been endlessly searching for affordability, a little extra breathing room, and a realistic path to actually owning your own place, well, you're exactly where you need to be.
Here's our quick roadmap for today. We're going to tackle the first-time buyer challenge, officially welcome you to the Wrigley area, look at the space and lower density, compare it to nearby neighborhoods, break down the condo options and HOA fees, and finally, look at why it's such a smart investment.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the first-time buyer challenge and finding affordability in Long Beach.
So let's address the elephant in the room. The absolute biggest hurdle for new buyers right now is finding a place that won't completely drain your bank account. If you're feeling totally squeezed by these hyper-competitive coastal markets, you're probably asking yourself, how on earth do I finally stop renting and actually start building equity? It's incredibly frustrating, right? Looking at the market and feeling completely priced out of the city you love?
Which brings us to Section 2. Welcome to the Wrigley area, Long Beach's hidden gem. Our big solution to this whole affordability puzzle brings us to an established residential pocket known as the Wrigley area. Just to get you oriented geographically, Wrigley is located just north of downtown Long Beach. It's really neatly framed by some major transit corridors, sitting west of Long Beach Boulevard, east of the LA River, just south of the 405 freeway, and north of PCH. It's kind of the best of both worlds, right in the mix, yet perfectly tucked away.
Now, when we compare costs side by side, Wrigley provides a significantly more accessible entry point into Long Beach real estate. You are getting way better value per square foot here compared to those highly sought-after but super pricey coastal areas like Belmont Heights or Belmont Shore. So for buyers who feel totally locked out of those waterfront zip codes, Wrigley creates a very real, tangible opportunity to own instead of just tossing away rent money.
Moving on to Section 3, space, peace, and lower density, focusing on a quieter residential lifestyle.
Notice how your hard-earned dollars translate into a completely different lifestyle here. Downtown Long Beach is packed with dense high-rises, a super busy urban vibe, and honestly, less square footage for your money. But Wrigley? Wrigley offers a much quieter environment. Because the construction is a bit older, you actually get larger floor plans and way more storage space tucked inside smaller complexes. It is a fundamental shift in how you experience your everyday living space.
And beyond just the physical space, the whole vibe is entirely different. Wrigley boasts this incredibly strong community feel with gorgeous tree-lined streets and longtime residents who take massive pride in their neighborhood. You've got local events and a real, genuine sense of belonging. It feels like a classic, traditional neighborhood that really prioritizes a peaceful environment over the loud, fast-paced urban nightlife you'd find closer to the city center.
All right, Section 4. Wrigley versus nearby neighborhoods. Let's talk about making the right trade-offs.
At the end of the day, making the right choice comes down to understanding the trade-offs. Against downtown, Wrigley's big advantage is being way more affordable and quieter. But the flip side is, it's just less walkable. Compared to Rose Park, Wrigley is a dream for commuters and offers more space. But, you're further from the beach. And against Bixby Knolls, Wrigley gives you a much lower entry price point, even if it currently lacks that highly established retail and dining scene. It really boils down to what's most important for your day-to-day life.
But hey, that being said, Wrigley is definitely not isolated. While it's true it's not as intensely walkable as the coast, you still get fantastic local amenities literally in your backyard. You've got the Wrigley Marketplace for your daily needs, Veterans Park for your green space, and direct access to the LA River bike path when you want to get outside. Plus, whenever you do crave that urban energy, downtown Long Beach and the Pine Avenue dining scene are just a super quick 5 to 10 minute drive away.
Let's hit Section 5, condo options and HOA fees. Time for the practical details.
Okay, let's look at the fine print and see exactly what kind of condo properties are actually waiting for you in Wrigley. A huge, and I mean huge, selling point is the unit count, typically just 4 to 20 units. Wrigley isn't known for those massive mega developments. Instead, you'll find these charming little boutique buildings, mostly built between the 1960s and 1980s. Which means you aren't sharing your walls, hallways, and parking garages with hundreds of other people.
Diving into the actual units, the inventory is heavily dominated by 1 to 2 bedroom condos with really simple, traditional layouts. Now, they might be a little less open concept than brand new builds, but they totally make up for it in practicality. And here is a massive advantage: parking. Anyone who's tried to find street parking in a dense urban area knows it feels like an extreme sport, right? Well, units in Wrigley very often include dedicated garages or carports.
And even for your guests, street parking is significantly easier here than it is downtown.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is how this affects your monthly budget, because these boutique buildings are simpler and usually skip those expensive luxury amenities, the resort-style pools or massive fitness centers. The monthly HOA dues are incredibly reasonable. We're talking fees ranging from just $200 to $400 a month, which generally covers your water, trash, and exterior maintenance. For a first-time buyer trying to qualify for a loan, a low HOA fee is literally a game changer.
To quickly summarize the lifestyle fit before we talk investments, you are absolutely going to love the Wrigley area if your priorities are a quiet neighborhood, stretching your budget for more space, and having an incredibly easy commute right onto the 405. On the flip side, you should probably reconsider if you absolutely demand a highly walkable urban life where you can stroll to a dozen different bars, if you require luxury building amenities, or if you simply must be steps from the sand.
That brings us to our final section, number 6. A smart first-time investment, looking at the long-term upside. Now let's talk numbers and future value. Wrigley is increasingly viewed by market experts as a stellar long-term growth opportunity. And here's why. First off, its proximity to the ongoing revitalization happening in downtown Long Beach creates this natural ripple effect of value. Second, it's just math. Whenever you buy in at a lower entry price point, your potential for percentage upside is fundamentally higher. And finally, there is a massive, ever-increasing demand for affordable housing options across all of Southern California, which basically ensures your property remains highly desirable.
I do want to throw in a quick pro tip based on our source material. While those lower HOA fees are fantastic for your monthly budget, you got to remember that these 60s and 80s buildings are a bit older. Because of that, you or your real estate agent absolutely must carefully review the property's overall condition and, critically, examine the HOA's financial reserves and maintenance history. You just want to make sure the building has been well managed so you don't get hit with surprise assessments down the road.
This quote from our research pretty much hits the nail on the head and sums up everything we've talked about today. Wrigley area condos offer one of the best opportunities to get into the Long Beach market at a reasonable price point. It is an unparalleled opportunity to actually enter the real estate market, secure your own piece of property, and do it all without sacrificing community character or daily convenience.
So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on. Are you ready to trade the temporary flash of beachfront renting for the space, peace, and long-term financial value of actually owning in Wrigley? It might not have that oceanfront address, but for a first-time buyer focused on space, value, and building real equity, Wrigley is absolutely a hidden gem worth exploring. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I hope it gave you a crystal clear understanding of this really unique market.